Hi guys, my name is Alex and I play a lot of Pokemon. I started playing back Red and Blue, so 96, 97, 98. When was that year? Oh god. Yeah, it was 98. I went to look it up. I kind of caught onto the craze kind of late. Um, so while it was kind of dying out, I was like super into it. And then as soon as it became uncool, I wasn't done with it, so I just continued playing for many, many years. I kind of became a closet player. Actually, from I don't know age 7 till about or age 8 until about 16, nobody knew that I played Pokemon except my brother and my parents. Like it was just a completely at home kind of thing. Anyway, on my 16th birthday, I got fed up with hiding something that I truly was passionate about, and I went and participated in my first regional tournament. I brought the shittiest team in probably all existence of regionals, except for the one guy that I beat. I beat one guy, and he had just went out into the wild and caught 4 level 50 Pokemon, and I got paired up with him, and I beat him, and I felt really cool because I won. But I was using a Shelgon. I didn't even evolve it because I didn't want the 4 times weakness. There was no Eviolite. I just left it as a Shelgon, and I used like a Bastiodon with like Metal Burst was like its only attack. Like it was terrible. I had a Flagon with 4 moves. It had Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Dragon Claw, and Ice Punch. And I was like, man, I have massive coverage. I'm totally gonna win. Needless to say, I got destroyed by a guy second round who had like drawn his entire team on his shirt. So like this was before team preview. I got to see his team ahead of time and I still lost. That's how bad I was. So for the next year, I wasn't like serious enough to fly to the other regionals. So I just kind of sat it out, and I got really into the trading card game. I started playing back then. If you guys ever remember back in like the 2010 season, like Kurskar and Lux Chomp, like those old school decks. I mean, they're not that old school, but that was like what I was super into. My brother he always stayed passionate about the video game, so he'd always play the video game, and I'd always play the card game, and then we'd kind of just overlap a little bit. So the only knowledge I was really getting was from what he was like discovering on like just brainstorming wise. So we talk about stuff like he liked what was it like Ninetales Drought with Cherubi and a Power Herb Aerodactyl, so I could use Sky Attack in one turn. It was whack, but like that's what we did. And so next year came around, and we went back to the regionals again. And this time I fully evolved all of my Pokemon, and I gave them all items. That was big. And I beat the first guy, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. What was I using that year? I don't know, something weird, I guess. Anyway, the second guy I ended up playing is this guy named Deagle, and or at least he's a really good player. And so he ended up taking third in the whole tournament, and I had to play him second round. So he beat me, and then I went to go talk to him after the tournament. I was like, bro, like, what is up? You smashed me. You smashed everyone else. Hook me up. Like, what do you know? And so then from then on, he really tried to get me onto like playing simulators with him. Like, he wanted to teach me and stuff. But I was too wrapped up in the card game. I was always like, oh, maybe later, maybe later, maybe later. Anyway, nationals came around. This is still 2010, and I convinced my parents to fly us out to Indianapolis to go attend. It didn't take much convincing, to be honest. Like she knew that my mom knew we spent a lot of time on the game, so she thought it was cool. It was a hobby, whatever. And so we flew out, and I played Kurskar, which is to this day still my favorite deck. My brother played some Flygon Lock variant. It was really strange, but we both top cut. It was 9 rounds of Swiss for each of us. He was in seniors. I was in masters. This might have been before they even had that distinction. He was in juniors. I was in seniors. And I went 7-2. He went 6-3. And then we made it to top cut. And then so that was the next day. We went to the next day. I actually got to sit right next to Jay Witz. I know he doesn't know, or still, yeah, he didn't know who I was, but I knew who he was. I watch his videos all the time. You guys probably have at least heard of him. And that was cool. Kind of freaked me out, made me a little bit more nervous. I made a misplay and I lost. I won the first game. I lost the next two, so I got kicked out. That was cool. It was whatever. And my brother did the same thing. He won the first game and lost the next two on time because it was flag on lock. And so after that tournament, I went over to go watch the video game players, and of course Deagle was there, and I was like, "Dude, what is up? Like, why are you so good at this?" And he started just talking about stuff, and I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, whoa, 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 what are all of these characteristics that, EVs, IVs?" I was like, "What? I there's just Pokemon, right?" And he's like, "No, that's not even close." So from then on, I got super into the video game, and so he started teaching me stuff like the meta game, all these hidden values you got to account for, all that good stuff. And I basically went home and I gave up playing the card game for the video game. Fast forward to August of 2010, Worlds came around and it was held in Hawaii. And so my family took a vacation to Hawaii. And so I got to go play. I wanted to go play actually in the LCQ of the Pokemon game. And so even though I was still learning about the VGC, I wasn't super confident with it. So I brought my Curse Guard deck and I was like, hey, I made top cut Nats. I can totally win the LCQ. And I signed up for the LCQ. I got up. Sign up was at 8, started at 10. Signed up for my Masters division. I was ready. My brother signed up too. Two of my friends that come with us, they signed up as well. And the VGC LCQ started at 9, so I had an hour to kill. I went into the line for VGC, saw Deagle there. He was just chilling. He'd already qualified. So had his brother. And I was like, hey, bro, give me something. I'm just gonna go run in here and I'm just gonna waste some time. And whatever. He's like, all right, cool. He talked to his brother. His brother traded me 4 Pokemon. This is back when you could have 6. You used 4 the first match, so you could switch them around or whatever. LCQ is just best of 1, so it didn't really matter if I had 6 Pokemon or if I had 4 Pokemon. But brought 4. Those 4, you could switch around the items. I never did. I didn't know I still had no idea what I was doing. And so I took that team. I went to the LCQ. I got to the front of the line, and the guy who checked me in for the Masters TCG game, he looked at me and he's like, this isn't TCG, right? And I was like, oh shit, So I gave him a quizzical look. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I have a twin brother and he plays the card game. You're probably talking about him. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I don't know if he believed me. I used a fake name. I went in as Evan Falco. Evan Falco is one of my childhood friends. We went to preschool together, elementary school, high school, middle school, all that. So when they asked me for my name, I blanked and I was like, Evan Falco. And so they put down my name as Evan Falco. Anyway, I go into the LCQ and I end up winning the tournament. I ended up going undefeated and I got into the top 9. Actually, there was 9 of us, and they let all of us into Worlds. So I kind of gave up playing the card game at that point and just went with playing VGC. That tournament, I actually ended up going 4-2, which put me at 13th place at Worlds. It's probably like the highlight of my life, actually, as dorky as that sounds. What happened was there was, how many of us were there? There were about 40 players. 41 because they let us, 9 of us in. My first opponent, I beat him, and then he got disqualified because his Giratina was illegally strong. So my opponent's win percentage wasn't great with him. I lost rounds 2 and 3, which is never good for your percentage. You always want to lose late. Won round 4 against a guy who ended up rage quitting the tournament after I beat him, and then won 5 and 6. And so that was good enough to put me at 13th. It wasn't enough for top 8 because top 8 was the cut at Worlds. So, but it was pretty cool to go from 0th in World, maybe even negative 10th in World because I used Shogun to actually doing decently at that tournament, and that was pretty cool. Ever since then, I've kind of dropped the card game and I've pretty much focused solely on the video game, as has my brother. So last season I was top 25, top 20 in North America. Top 12 got invites to Worlds. I had to miss Nationals because I took a school trip to Japan for a month, which was so cool. I bought a Magic card. It's like life size, like big, and that was cool. But I had to miss Nats, even though I was at 16th, and you needed top 12 before you made Worlds. I got 0 points from Nationals. Got bumped down to 20th. It is what it is. And then this season right now, I'm top 25 in North America so far. So I've been doing. I'm not obviously the greatest, but I think I know what I'm doing now. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Because last term I got ninth at Arizona, and I missed top cut by .06 opponent's win percentage. And the term before that here in San Jose, not San Jose, Santa Clara, wherever the heck it was, it's over here, Pleasanton. I missed top cut because my Meteor Mash missed on the last turn. He had a Cresselia that couldn't hit my Hydreigon because it only knew Psychic. And I went to kill the Latios, and I missed with Meteor Mash in Trick Room, and then he was able to kill my Scarf Hydreigon with Draco Meteor. It was lame. But so it still gave me some points. So I'm top 25 right now. And that's when I started this channel. I figured, hey, this would be cool. I could share some of my knowledge with you guys. And so far, there's been a lot more people interested in what I was saying than I thought there would be. At first, I only had like 2 subscribers. I was like, cool, 2 subscribers. Like, people actually want to listen to me. And then I meant to make this video once I hit 500, which took me a couple months. And then once I hit 500, like I went to make the video, and all of a sudden I had 600. I was like, well, 600 is not as cool as 500, so I gotta wait. So I waited to hit 1,000, and then all of a sudden, like, it passed by too fast. So I'm making this before I hit 2,000. So hopefully it comes out when I hit 2,000 and it doesn't get overrun. I appreciate all the support, guys, and I think hopefully most of you have noticed that, like, I try to respond to all the comments that I get and stuff. I literally have 200 comments sitting in my box right now. I do them in class. I go to UC Davis. I sit in my class and I answer your guys' questions, and there's a lot. So I get to them when I can. Hopefully it is helpful, and I'm so glad that, like, you guys are at least interested in partially what I'm saying, and it's at least somewhat helpful. And I just figured, like, there's a lot of stuff that this is what I really like to do. I really like Pokemon, and if I can share and help people with it, like, why not? So, guys, if you've watched up until now, thanks. I know this became a little bit preachy. I didn't mean for it to. I don't really know what these are supposed to be like, so I just kind of freelanced it. Sorry about my nose. I fell off my bike. Everyone bikes here. Some girl didn't bike the right way in the bike circle, and I hit the pavement really awkwardly. But if you guys, want to see anything Pokemon related, any kind of, competitive play or anything, I do a lot of competitive play. Just ask. I do videos for questions sometimes. I did my first one for Real J. You could probably see it. I made a big deal that I did it for him, so I'm sure, he took it with a good sense of humor. But you don't even have to be my subscriber. Just ask a question. If I see it and I can do it, I'll do it. And remember that I love you guys. All right, that was pretty weird. I'm sorry. I ran out of things to say.